Welcome to the Brain Alpha. Today, we're on a mission, an absolute mission, to completely dismantle this toxic idea that has kind of hijacked our whole culture. You know what I'm talking about, right? The great American hustle harder myth. We are told constantly that if we just grind 24/7, sacrifice our sleep, and push through sheer exhaustion, well, we'll achieve our dreams. But what if I told you that relying on pure willpower is exactly what's destroying your chances of success? In this explainer, we're breaking down a really transformational framework created by a learning and productivity revolutionary named Justin. We're going to explore his 3 principles of systems thinking. It's a completely different approach. The proof success isn't about working yourself to the bone. Actually, it's about designing a life where achieving your goals happens almost on autopilot.
I mean, we've all been here, haven't we? Just think about your last big goal. Maybe it was a New Year's resolution to get into the absolute best shape of your life. Or maybe a commitment to finally study for that advanced degree. So you make this grand plan, you buy all the shiny new gear, you're fired up for about, a week? And then, life happens. You slip up. Instantly, that intense, crushing guilt sets in. You tell yourself, man, I'm just lazy, or I just don't have what it takes. And then, agonizingly, you try the exact same broken method all over again a few months later, expecting a different outcome. It's just an endless, painful cycle.
Okay, let's dive into this. On the left here, we have the hustle myth. This is essentially toxic positivity wrapped up in pure willpower and endless grinding. It demands that you just fight against your natural human limits every single day. But look over on the right. That is the reality of high achievers. Effortless systems thinking. Successful people, they don't actually rely on willpower. No way. They build smart, foolproof systems that make doing the right thing literally the easiest option. They engineer their environment so that success just naturally becomes the path of least resistance. So what does this all mean? The crucial point is defining exactly what we're looking at. Systems thinking is a framework to achieve success by optimizing your methods and your environment, rather than relying on motivation, willpower, or the hustle. And I really want you to hear this loud and clear. Your past failures are not due to a weak character. You are not fundamentally flawed. You simply lacked a proper system. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. It's just going to slip right through your fingers. Systems thinking is basically just building a bucket.
So here's our agenda for this explainer. First, the willpower myth. Second, analyze failures. Third, ensure reproducibility. Fourth, dig deeper. And finally, build your success system.
Section 1. The Willpower Myth. Why grinding harder is a trap.
Principle 1. Analyze failures. Crush the failure pattern first.
Okay, so before you ever create a new plan, you absolutely have to crush that failure pattern. This is a painful but incredibly necessary step. Look, most of us just want to wipe the slate clean, right? We want to look forward to a shiny new future. But if you don't sit down and aggressively analyze exactly why your last diet failed, or why your last study routine fell completely apart, you are literally walking blindfolded into a minefield. As the legendary physicist Albert Einstein famously said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Just think about the sheer insanity of buying a brand new, super expensive textbook or a shiny new gym membership, but completely refusing to change the underlying daily habits that caused you to fail the last time around. You're basically just paying a premium to fail in slightly nicer clothes. You've got to look the ugly truth of your past failures right in the eye. Principle 2. Ensure reproducibility. Motivation is not a valid strategy. Because guys, here's a harsh reality. If your plan only works on a perfect, sunny, high-energy day when absolutely all the stars align, your plan has zero reproducibility. A real system doesn't care about your mood. Motivation, mood, and energy are incredibly unreliable triggers. I mean, what happens when your boss yells at you, your car breaks down, and you have a massive headache? If your goal relies on those triggers, you are going to instantly skip your workout or order junk food. On the flip side, reproducible systems rely on a structured environment, established habits, and adaptability. Your system has got to be completely robust. It has to work even when you are super stressed out, totally exhausted from a grueling day at work, or just having a flat-out terrible day.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we so often confuse our goals with our methods. Let's look at a highly relatable American example here. Say your goal is to pass the bar exam. Your default method might be to study at home after work. But if you're commuting on I-95, dealing with absolute gridlock traffic, and coming home to the utter chaos of kids screaming and dogs barking, well, studying at home is going to fail. The goal is passing the exam, not necessarily studying at home. So we have to be flexible with the method. Maybe study at the office for an hour before driving home. It's the same thing with losing weight. If you absolutely hate the gym, skip it. Walk to work instead. You've got to decouple your goal from a rigid, failing method.
And this brilliantly illustrates the dynamic nature of systems thinking. It is a continuous loop. Step 1, find the cause of the failure. Step 2, change the method. Step 3, repeat until it works. If studying at the office fails because, they turn the lights off at 6 p.m., don't give up on the goal. Loop back. Try a local cafe. If the cafe's way too crowded and loud, loop back again. Try waking up early and studying at your kitchen table before the rest of the house wakes up. You just keep iterating your method until you find that path of least resistance.
But I do have a critical warning for you. When you finally hit on the right method, it's not going to feel all warm and fuzzy immediately. Actually, discomfort means you are close to the optimal solution. Think about the walking to work example. At first, it's going to be annoying, right? You'll get a little sweaty, you'll have to pack a change of clothes, and your brain will literally scream at you to just take the car. But that psychological resistance actually means you are actively breaking the bad, comfortable cycle that was holding you back. You need to embrace that initial friction.
Principle 3. Dig deeper. Peeling the Band-Aid off.
You see, principles 1 and 2, fixing the method and finding the right environment, they often just act as a Band-Aid. They stop the bleeding. But once that surface issue is fixed and you actually sit down to do the work, you'll often find that the real, deep work has just begun. For example, let's say you finally locked in that quiet morning study time. The house is silent, your coffee is hot, the system is perfect. But then you sit down and you realize you literally cannot retain a single word you're reading. By fixing the surface problem of time and location, you've actually exposed a hidden root cause. Maybe it's a chronic lack of sleep or a completely destroyed attention span from scrolling social media all day. Or maybe, and this is scariest of all, you realize you're studying for a career path you actually hate. These are the underlying wounds that the system forces you to confront.
So what do you do when you expose these kind of terrifying root problems? Well, you don't panic. You simply feed them back into the machine. Step 1, expose the new root problem. Step 2, apply principles 1 and 2 to it. Step 3, peel the next Band-Aid. As you'll see, systems thinking is a dynamic, continuous loop. Every single time you peel a Band-Aid and solve a deeper root issue, you are literally leveling up your life. You are shedding the baggage that holds 99% of people back.
Build your success system. Ditch the hustle. Embrace the framework.
It is time to bring this all together and build your success system. I want you to stop right now, take a deep breath, and finally ditch the hustle culture. Stop wasting your precious mental energy on useless guilt, self-flagellation, and that toxic cycle of trying harder and failing harder. Instead, take all of that ambition and energy and invest it into building, testing, and refining your framework. I'll leave you with this final thought: temporary discomfort today or a lifetime of regret tomorrow. The choice is entirely yours. You can either face the minor annoyance of building a real system and breaking your old habits right now, or you can face the crushing weight of unfulfilled potential for the rest of your life. So which one are you going to choose? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and help us build the hype. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.